I'm Lakeisha, an OpenSciEd teacher and facilitator, and today presenting Unit B.4 Lesson 1, which focuses on how urbanization impacts non-human populations. The driving question for this unit is how does urbanization affect non-human populations, and how can we minimize harmful effects? So in this video, I'll show you how the lesson flows, where the sense making loops happen, and a few key moments you'll really want to slow down and protect. This is a 3-day anchoring lesson, and you have about 20 minutes of material preparation. There are hands on investigations, and devices are required for your students. So we'll think about this lesson in 3 sense making loops. Um, Students are going to begin by exploring real world phenomena and developing initial ideas. As the lesson progresses, students collaborate, analyze data, and refine their thinking through discussion and modeling. By the end, students are not just learning content, they are actively building explanations and preparing to investigate their own questions. So we'll take a deeper dive into each of the sense making loops. And we can see here the first sense making loop takes place over days 1 and 2. And students are going to explore how urbanization changes environments and begin thinking about how those changes affect non human populations. They figure out that the environment is physically changing over time, and those changes are probably affecting the survival of non human populations. The next sense making loop takes place on day 2. And on this day, the students' focus shifts from non human populations to developing and refining models. And students are going to figure out that we can use models to help explain and communicate our ideas about how the survival of one non human population is affected by urbanization. And then the third sense making loop takes place on day 3. And this is where our students bring their ideas together by building a class consensus model and generating questions to guide future investigation. And they figure out that we still have a lot of questions about the mechanisms that impact non human populations living in urban areas. So, what do we figure out? Well, on day 1, we figure out that urbanization changes environments, and those changes probably affect living things. On day 2, we figure out how urbanization actually causes population changes. And then by day 3, we figure out that we still have a lot of unanswered questions about the effect of increasing urbanization on non human populations. Those questions are what's going to guide what we investigate next. So, throughout this lesson, we have several key moments. And so, the first key moment takes place at part 1. And on this particular day, students are going to begin with time lapse satellite imagery of city growth. And their focus is on noticing patterns, comparing before and after, and identifying environmental changes. So at this stage, the goal is observation, and not necessarily explaining. The next key moment takes place at part 2. And this is where students consider how these environmental changes might affect plants and animals. They begin making cause and effect claims, and all of their ideas are recorded to build a shared starting point. At part 7, students develop initial models, and they create these models showing how one population is affected by urbanization. Their models should include resources like food, water, shelter, space, and it should show cause and effect relationships using arrows. The next key moment takes place at part 8, where our students will share and compare their initial models. So students will perform a gallery walk where they examine their peer models, and they're looking for similarities and differences from the components and interactions in the system. And they're going to use that information in order for them to compare with their what's similar and what's different between their models. Part 9, investigate case studies. So we analyze case studies to examine and identify population patterns. Students gather evidence and they determine whether their initial models or their initial ideas hold up. The next key moment takes place on part 13 when our students develop an initial consensus model. So here as a class, students combine their ideas into a shared consensus model that represents their collective understanding. The next key moment takes place at part 14 with the driving question board. And students are going to generate questions about what they still don't understand, focusing on cause and effect relationships and mechanisms of change. And the last key moment takes place at part 15 with the ideas for investigation. So here is where our students are going to propose ways to investigate the questions that they presented on the driving question board. And that's going to include what data to collect and then also how to test their ideas. So where do we go from here? Well, this leads students to recognize that they still need to figure out and also set up the next phase of learning. So some tips and tricks. First, we want to make sure that we're clarifying through questioning rather than telling. Students sometimes think that animals just move somewhere else. So it's important to question them in order to push them to consider adaptation. Students also struggle through the modeling piece. That model should show urban change, environmental pressure, and population response. Another thing to take into consideration is to use the example strategically. So each population shows a different survival mechanism, and students should begin to think of trait variations throughout this process. Avoid jumping to natural selection vocabulary. Throughout the unit, we're going to refine those ideas that the students are presenting into trait variation, selection pressure, population change. For the personal glossary management, we do not co-construct any words. However, we encounter urban and urbanization. Students sometimes think these two words mean the same thing, so it's important for them to understand the difference between the two. In poster management, we have several posters that we will create throughout this lesson. The first two posters, urban environmental components and interactions chart, and similarities and differences chart, are going to be used in this lesson. However, the initial consensus model, the driving question board, and the ideas for investigations will be used throughout the unit. So it's important to place these strategically around your class so that they're easily accessible for you and your students to reference throughout the remainder of the unit. And so that is it. So this is the end of this 3-day lesson. And the lesson overall moves students from observation to explanation to questioning and setting the foundation for deeper investigation throughout the unit. Thank you and have a good one.